Act 3. Maelle. So is this post... Huh, that's Verso. He survived the Demajen because of course he's not real.
Alicia.
Actually, I prefer Maelle.
I think I do too. But I'm not really Verso, and you're not really Maelle, are you?
You're not Verso, no. You look and sound just like him, but you're you. I'm still Maelle, though. You should have helped me remember.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. If I'd listened to Maman, if I hadn't trusted the writers, Verso would still be alive, and you...
Wouldn't exist.
wouldn't be caught in the middle. Maman did a terrible thing, painting you into Verso's canvas, giving you his memories, pretending the fire only took me. But I'm glad you exist.
Your father was right to erase everyone is better this way.
Better for who? Verso would never have wanted his canvas gone. He loved Esquier and his gestrels and grandes.
It was killing our mother. Staying here so long in a make-believe world with her make-believe family.
It's not make-believe. It's not. You're not. To me.
Question is, can she...
Papa's here. He'll help me fix Lumiere.
Will he?
Maman painted a rather unflattering portrait of him.
The curator.
He's much warmer than the Renoir, you know.
I bet.
It's all got quite entertainingly meta, hasn't it? Painter power. Pictos acquired. Maelle has recovered her memories as a paintress. Maelle now has access to new skills. Right, we need that on.
Your father was the one erasing everyone. Why would he help repaint everything?
I hid the canvas before I entered, so Maman can't come back again. There's no need to erase the canvas anymore.
He'll want you to go home.
I'm not at risk like Maman. I haven't been in this canvas that long. Besides, Papa has a soft spot for me. He'll listen.
So she will either become lost in this world, or she will have to return home to a world where she's disfigured and can't speak but with her real family. Yeah, so I was right that this is Renoir. But he's a version that Paintress created. Without the scar.
Alicia. You're safe. I thought I told you to stay home.
Technically, my body's at home.
Some of Eileen's finest work. I regret that it caused you so much pain. What Eileen did was unfair to you most of all. Please, accept the Descendre family's apologies. I know it seems absurd to offer oblivion as recompense, but perhaps that's the outcome we both desire.
What?
I'm proud of you. Getting your mother out of the canvas was not easy. Once we erase the canvas, we won't have to worry anymore.
But she's home now. Why?
You know your mother. Verso painted this canvas. It contains a piece of his soul. She'll never willingly part with it.
No.
For the sake of the living, we must part with the dead.
No, Papa. See, I hid the canvas.
She will always find it. This is our only opportunity, while she's too sick from her prolonged descent into the canvas to return.
No. Papa. Papa, please. This is Verso's only canvas. You can't destroy the last piece of him that we have. This is my home now. You can't just decide...
Your home? After all that with your mother, you want to stay?
You know how little remains of my life outside.
Alicia, you'll die. You've already been here longer than you should.
But...
No. Look at me, I said no. I am not letting my daughter risk her life. Alicia.
I'm not, Mama. I'm not going to lose myself if I stay.
I know full well you will, and I am not doing this again!
No!
Ruh-roh.
Papa, what are you...
It's time to go home.
Man, this game's just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. Nope. You're not going anywhere, Verso.
Mes amis!
Esquier!
All aboard!
Verso, come on. Come on.
So coming back, making the actual choice to come back to Lumiere is going to be our end game.
I can see them.
Just going to bring the others back. So Renoir is still the villain, but less obtuse, less obscure. Back to Lumiere. Oh, back to camp. But the monolith's gone. Now she's going to paint Ciel and Lune back into existence.
I did it so easily. What am I doing wrong?
Don't be discouraged. It's only been a day since you remembered your Paintress side.
We believe in you.
Remember them. Painting isn't about verisimilitude. It's about essence. Truth of who they are. Your father made the axons, right?
She who plays with wonder, he who guards truth with lies.
They're the essence of your mother and your brother.
How did we got marched?
Everybody did.
Maelle, your hair.
Well,
We have much to talk about.
yeah. Oh.
So you were her daughter? And you were a paintress too?
So cool. Right?
And you knew this whole time! You fucking coward! You betrayed us! We trusted you!
You can bring them back too. Yeah? Everyone we've lost.
Yeah, but I need chroma and Papa controls all the chroma in the canvas.
No. Not all of it. The expeditioners. The ones killed by Nevrons. Gustave noticed their chroma remains in their bodies. They never dissipated. Like the Demajen.
It's old chroma and not pure. It won't be like bringing the two of you back, but we could use it in other ways.
Uh-huh.
Time for the greatest expedition in history.
And weirdly enough, we still get to play as Verso for this bit, which is somewhat odd. Ah, we can now upgrade our weapons here because, of course, the curator is no longer around.
Lune.
I was right not to trust you.
And what would you have done in my position?
I wouldn't have betrayed my expedition. I would have warned them that everyone they cared about was about to be erased. That they were about to be erased. I would have told them the truth. Because after everything we've been through, we deserved that.
What would you have done about it?
So you choose your expedition over your mother?
That's your problem. You think in false dichotomies. It wasn't an either-or situation. Other solutions were possible if you'd only trusted us enough to ask.
Knowing what you know now. Would you have helped me force my mother out of the canvas? I don't apologize for saving her. But I am sorry I broke your trust. And I will do everything I can to help bring everyone back.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got that possibility, haven't we? If Maelle can wrest control of the canvas from her father, she can wrest control of the chroma, she can bring people back. The question is, if she needs to remember them, how is that going to work? Could Gustav come back at the end? I mean, in terms of the fantastical nature of this story, it's just got multiple layers of paint. Deeper.
Oh, everyone's mad at you.
Yes, they are.
Are you?
Ischia can be sad, or bad, or even rad, but never, ever mad. Bad things happen when we get mad.
Really?
Oh, I know.
But I can never be mad at you.
You are a top person, SKA. So,
Save it. I don't need your mea culpa. You did what you felt you had to. Of course, you were wrong. But, oh well.
I thought you'd be more upset.
I was. I got over it.
she's good at that.
Everything I knew about our world is wrong. And you know what? I don't care. 'Cause death isn't death anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
And that means I can see my husband again.
CL.
Oh, please. I'd sacrifice you in a heartbeat to get him back. So, I understand. We're good.
Thank you.
As long as you help me bring Pierre back. You owe me.
You got it.
Okay. So we've gone from a quest to stop more people dying to, in Act 3, a quest to essentially try and bring everybody back. Not in the same way that I thought it would be possible to bring people back, but then we never really understood the Demajen. In fact, we still don't really understand the Demajen.
Not to say I told you so, but I do believe that I did, in fact, tell you so.
Yeah, because Monoko knew.
Thanks for the support.
Was it worth it? What will you do now?
I'll do my best to earn their trust back.
Quite a steep hill to climb.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Where is Maelle? She's over here, isn't she? Yes.
We have to push Papa out of the canvas before he erases everything.
I'm surprised he hasn't already.
He's been weakened by his battle with Maman. That's probably why he hasn't come after us. But it won't stop him for long.
If you and your father keep fighting, you risk breaking the world again. Another fracture, but this time, it might be you trapped inside the monolith.
Oh, so the first fracture was caused by Mom and Dad fighting. But last time Mom got trapped inside the monolith, which is why she's so sad and crying, because she was trapped. But not really, because she did manage to get to other bits. Using the mana, admittedly. I'm still, I confess, I'm still a little bit confused as to the point of the number. The actual countdown.
What's the alternative?
Maybe. Maybe you should go home.
Verso.
You're fighting each other, but you're all doing the same thing.
No.
Eileen wants her son back. Renoir wants you and Eileen back. You want Gustave back. The cycle we needed to break wasn't the Demajen. It's your family's cycle of grief. Our whole world carries the burden of your family's grief.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So, where do we go from here? Write in the journal of Gustave's apprentices even. So she brought that with her, which, well, of course she would. She writes about everything. The painters, Eileen, Renoir, so no matter what happens, the truth will be written somewhere. The irony of the writers. I wonder if we'll get any more details about the writers versus the painters. Maelle immerses herself in Gustave's journal, poring over every detail. She will forever cherish his memory. The memories of Gustave inspire Maelle. Gustave's homage. She is sure that when she brings the apprentices back, they will want to read his story. Maelle heads back. What was that skill? Did we say? Gustave's homage. Deals high single target lightning damage. 8 hits. Increases damage to marked targets. Doesn't remove the mark. Okay. Check up on the others.
Nice hair.
Oh yeah. That.
I can't believe there's another world out there. A world I'll never get to see.
I'm sorry. I didn't. My memories. I would have told you if I'd known.
Don't apologize. You were trapped too. You lived among us. You're one of us. Even if you're also one of them.
It's so weird. I have memories of 2 childhoods. 2 homes. 2 Lumiere.
You're not an orphan anymore. You just found your family.
You're her
You want to
family.
be with them?
I love my family, but they're all gone. In one way or another. And you're my family too. So are Gustave and Emma.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it at the time, but all the families who took turns taking care of me.
Maelle.
This is a lot to take in.
Yeah,
It's been a dramatic hour or so.
but for the first time in a long time, I have hope.
I mean, no more Demajen to worry about. Well, technically no more Demajen to worry about. Create the greatest expedition in history.
Clair, obscur, trouble, rature, clair, obscur, guardé aux peintures.
So she's going around and collecting the chroma from all of the dead expeditioners.
obscur, trouble de rature, courbera et fait. Clair obscur,
what's she going to do with it?
trouvera sans elle.
Going to the ends of the world. Corners of the painting, so to speak.
Au clair, obscur, trouvera du clair obscur, guardé aux peintures. Clair obscur, trouble de rature, courbera et fait. Clair obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera.
What have you done?
Clair obscur, trouble de rature, courbera.
Aha.
Clair obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle.
And back to the continent. SKA ability unlocked. Fly! Expedition 33 final objective. Head back to Lumiere and expel Renoir from the canvas. That does not, game, explain how I'm supposed to go underwater. We fly! Whee! So we've got loads of enemies to face off against. That's the edge of the painting. I mean, this just shows, doesn't it? This shows that it can be done. A world map. In the kind of high... I mean, the popping's not great, but... Didn't realise Lumiere had the kind of giant Eiffel Tower thing on it. So there's the indigo tree. Now we can get to all of those little secrety places that we couldn't get to before. Like... what's this? The fountain. Danger. Why is the danger in the fountain? What level must it be if it's still dangerous? Port de Lumière, tu effil. My French continues to be amazing.
Watch out.
Is it looking for a fight?
It's one of the white ones. Hello. Oh, it's the hand person. Blanche, you. The ones who conquered the Monolith. And best did she who claimed this painting as her own. Mistress shall be pleased to hear of your feats. Now, one cannot stay ignorant to the consequences of your triumph. What will happen to the canvas? We'll stop Renoir from destroying. Impossible. What you aim to do is unachievable. But I commend your determination. Mistress afflicted me with a similar quality. We who are her creations, we share the same duty. to hasten a resolution to their conflict by removing their powers of destruction, by keeping Chroma from their grasp. But I was assigned an additional duty. Incomplete, unfinished creations brought to life by the hand of the mistress. I was painted to neutralise them. Why would your mistress want that? Their existence is proof of my mistress's failures, and for that reason, I was to erase them. But I could not. Painted by the same brush, cut from the same cloth, seeing their pitiful state, I simply could not. But you... Ah, yes we did. Many of them are back on their feet, thanks to you. You have shown them mercy. Oh, so I'm glad I didn't kill any of them then. You chose the way of kindness. Well, that's me. I'm a kind person. Often have I thought it wrong to hope. For too long I roamed the world. I thought the duty assigned to me to be cruel. Even when I settled on a new purpose, it soon revealed itself to be impossible as well. And so I wandered. Little by little, I lost myself in thoughts of darkness as I noticed the world around me. I then learned the truth. You are one of them. Expeditioners, you have helped so many of us. Kindly accept this. May you continue to help those who have strayed from their path.
Clair.
Your sister created the Nevrons.
Yes. Except for the ones on the Axon Islands.
Why did she make Nevron feet so pointy? I can't polish them without poking myself. It's terribly inconvenient.
Yes. Quite annoying.
So Claire is their mistress. Created to... Okay. Ooh. Journal.
Yasmin,
84.
Monolith year 84. My favorite theory is that she's some crazy demonic maths teacher, and this is our punishment for failing at numbers. A load of superstitious hysteria, but at least we're here now. It's worth it just to walk these valleys. I've barely seen a meadow since Lady Genocide and her poison smoke took up residence. And the sky. I feel almost naked without the dome above us. It was so exposed, but
So this was
it's
the first.
thrilling too. We landed at the exact spot where Expedition Zero touched ground and retraced their route. But there's not a single scrap of cloth or body anywhere. Bloody hell, we're out here chasing shadows. 15-year-old shadows. I'm glad we restarted the expeditions. But how the hell are we supposed to find them? No trail could last 15 years.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was worth it. We got like 100 Lumina. Oh, and
Great.
101 Lumina. Right. I'm going to leave it there for the day. I've no idea how the last chunk of recording that I've done today will be broken up. I've got 3 hours worth of the Monolith plus almost an hour and a half of this. I think I'm pretty clear on almost everything in terms of the plot. But I think what I have missed is the countdown. For some reason, I think I've just missed or not understood the piece of information as to why it's counting down. There was that line about the Demajen being done out of love to save them. So was that harvesting of chroma for power? I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. That it was either made clear and I just didn't get it because I'm tired, or it wasn't made clear and hasn't been made clear yet, and that's a slight issue. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Either way, we have got ourselves into an endgame state. We have got, other than that, a pretty decent understanding of everything that is, going on. I will keep Maelle as is, I think. A number of my theories were proven correct. That the unreality of this world, yes, I was correct. Kind of. Not quite in the way that it has turned out to be, i.e. Well, I mean, maybe I said that it was a work of fiction painted by the Paintress, which isn't true. It was actually created by the original Verso before he died in the fire that heavily scarred and marred Alicia. I'm quite intrigued by the conflict between the painters and the writers, and I wonder if that is setting up the possibility for a franchise, or whether it is a conflict that is going to have more explained in this game. I would imagine the former. I feel like bringing that conflict into this would probably be out of place. It's been mentioned. It's a backstory element, but I don't think it's something that they're going to bring into the foreground unless there is a way of, for the ending, I guess, Maelle choosing to leave the painting and go back to the real world. I'm not sure how that would play in two things. I mean, if she leaves and erases the canvas, how Verso, CL, Lune, anybody else that gets brought back, that strikes me as but I suppose the thing is, as this Verso is saying, the cycle of grief is what has caused all the grief in this world in the first place. All of the Demajes have been because of the, what was it, the Descendre family? The family of painters. So, yeah, break the cycle or stay here with your new family and friends if you can bring everybody back, but essentially risk going mad, or getting trapped, or whatever happens. Going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But I've really enjoyed how the twists and turns and suspicions have all tangled and untangled and twisted and turned and tangled again, all with the meta narrative of the painting and creation. It's been really well tied together, in my opinion. The only thing that I've missed is, what was the point of the countdown? But I think Renoir and the Paintress both said stuff about that during their final fights. I was just too busy focused on the fight mechanics. What I should have done is stopped and listened to the dialogue. And when I edit this bit, I might stop here, or I might have put annotations on the screen to show, hopefully, a greater understanding of what it was that I missed the first time through. Anyway, my voice is going. I'm knackered. The 3 hours of that dungeon wore me out, and this has been an hour and a half as well. So I am going to cut it here. If there was ever any doubt that when I actually claim to be a teacher, that I actually am a teacher, I present to you a PowerPoint. I have spent a couple of hours, well, probably not that long. No, it probably is, actually, come to think of it. I spent a couple of hours watching back the footage from the end of Act 2 because I was confused. And I was confused because realistically, the plot of this game is actually many-layered and reasonably complicated. And whilst I predicted a chunk of it, there were some details that hadn't clicked for me. I'm not going to say that they hadn't landed, but I'd either missed them or misunderstood them, or just needed someone to tell me exactly how they fit together. And so I had two ways of going about this. I could either try and piece it together myself, or I could Google it and risk having spoilers for what is going to come in Act 3, because I have not done any of Act 3, save for what you've already seen in the video to this point. So, the plot of Expedition 33, as I understand it at this point. First of all, yes, it's got pictures and everything. We've got the Descendre family. We've got Renoir, we've got Aline, we've got Verso, we've got Clair, we've got Alicia. They're all there in the painting, and they were a happy family of painters who are people that can create portraits, pictures with a sliver of their soul, essentially, and manipulate the chroma to bring them to life. And they are in conflict with a group called the Writers, who I'm assuming, though I don't think it's actually been said, but I'm assuming that the Writers can do the same thing for books or literary works, or maybe the Writers are in conflict with them because they want the power that the painters have. I don't know. It hasn't told us. I'm not entirely sure it will tell us in the story. So they were a family of painters. It's very much implied that they're not the only ones, but that Renoir and Aline are very, very good at it. Aline was better than Renoir. I think the Verso that is playable in the game, the facsimile, I suppose, of Verso, since he is based on the real one before he died, Verso's passion was music. So he whilst he's technically comes from a painter's family and has the power to do so, and we'll talk about that in a second, his passion is actually music. So, Alicia was tricked. Claire accuses her of being really, really gullible at one point. Alicia was tricked by the Writers. At some point there was a fire that breaks out, and Verso, her brother, essentially trades his life for hers. He rescues her, but he dies in the process, and she survives, but badly scarred and with the loss of her voice. Although it doesn't seem to be horrendously debilitating, because Claire can still seemingly understand her, even though she can't actually speak. Now, Aline, the mother, absolutely distraught at the loss of her son, and in an effort to reconnect with him, she throws herself into the one painting that Verso created when he was a kid. It's a canvas that is full of a fantasy world, essentially, the world of the game, populated with gestrels, grandis, and this is where Verso and Alicia, it specifically says used to play, so it's got to be quite an old painting. It's his childhood painting. But Aline spends more and more time there, grieving for her lost son. And heading back to the real world, where Alicia is, and seeing what has become of Alicia, that simply reminds her more of the loss. So she spends more and more time in the painting. Now, the implication is that spending too much time in the paintings, in the canvases, as a painter, no matter how powerful you are, is a really bad idea. You end up losing your sanity or getting trapped, or, it's bad news. So Renoir enters this canvas, this childhood canvas that Verso created as a young man, to try and rescue Aline, essentially, to try and drag her out of both the canvas and her grief. That's my understanding of that bit. But Aline's having none of it. So you've got these two painters, both pretty good at what they do, but Aline more powerful. They end up, going from arguments and persuasion to all-out conflict turning violent. And this is where I'm assuming that those giant spectral weapons across old Lumiere are coming from. This almost anime-esque summoning weapons from the air thing, and they're giant and massive, and conflicts. And the conflict escalates to such a point that the very land of Lumiere, the old continent, fractures, which throws the Lumiere that we know from the start of the game out from it. It fractures it splits out, and it falls into the ocean, if I remember correctly, under the protection of a dome. Now, I'm sure it says at some point where the dome comes from, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It wasn't in the bits that I've just watched back. So if I remember or find out by the time I put this video out, I will add a note in about that. So the world fractures, and at this point, Aline is imprisoned at the top of the monolith, whilst Renoir is weakened enough for Aline to kind of paint over him and turn him into the curator, trapping him at the monolith's base. I think that seems to be my understanding of this. It's mentioned that, she paints over him, and unflattering portraits. Since then, the people of Lumiere, as we now know it from the start of the game, have led expeditions to take down the Paintress, because the Demajen, the countdown, they all see this as the reason for the destruction of their society. I'll talk a bit more about the Demajen in a second. But each of these expeditions has met with failure, or the implication here, resistance from an immortal Renoir, the white-haired man, Verso, the one that we play as in the game, and Alicia, the masked girl with the white hair, who Aline has seemingly painted it into existence to be her kind of surrogate happy family, because her life outside the painting is anything but. And we also, quote-unquote, know that at some point, Verso, in the painting, walks away. He has some kind of change of heart, and he walks away from this painted into existence family, and he starts helping the expeditions, which Renoir confronts him about several times in Act 2. There's also, though, the bit that said that Renoir was the commander of Expedition 0. They went out there. So did some kind of interaction with the Paintress happen? I don't know. I don't think it's mentioned anything to do with that at this point in the story, at the start of Act 3. In the end of Act 2, start of Act 3 kind of epilogue, which was a bit weird, we get this flashback to Monolith year 49. Now remember, that's about halfway down the countdown from 100 to 0. So we get this scene between Clair and Alicia. Proper Alicia who can't speak. And we find out that Renoir and Aline have been fighting each other in the canvas for a while. We know that Renoir has Aline imprisoned at the top of the monolith in the form of the Paintress. We know that Aline has Renoir trapped beneath the monolith, I think painted over as the curator. Now, time clearly flows different inside the painting versus outside the painting, as often happens with these dual kind of world stories. So we're halfway down the countdown already. It's been 50 years. But unless the painters outside in the real world are immortal and don't age, the time has to have flown differently. And we find out a few things from that cutscene. We find out that the playable Verso character in the game is a painted copy, built from Aline's memories, but without knowledge of his own death. We find out that Clair added the Nevrons to the canvas to weaken both her parents, and that is confirmed a little bit later, actually, when we visit the fountain and speak to Blanche. So Clair is the mistress that has been referred to by the incomplete Nevrons that we found throughout the game. And the reason for the Nevrons is it's her way of helping her father. Because if the people in the canvas are killed by Nevrons, their chroma never, I'm assuming that's where that link comes from, returns to either Aline or, in fact, to Renoir. So technically speaking, it will kind of weaken both of them. But since Aline was more powerful in the first place, she's not going to get that resource back. And arguably the most confusing bit is this bit. So the Gamage is Renoir's doing. He is painting death. Now Gamage is a word meaning to gently erase or to gently rub out. I assume it's from the same root as Legom, which is French for rubber or eraser. You know, that you get rid of pencil marks with. I vaguely recall this from French at school, 30-odd years ago. So Gamage is, and Clair says this, it's done with love. It's erasing, it's rubbing out in a gentle way, although Gustav doesn't see it as such when he talks about it in Act 1. He still says it's death and violence. But it's a gentle way of getting rid of the people, and it's pretty and it looks nice. The idea being that it's not as shocking and heartbreaking for the Paintress, but of course for the characters and for Maelle, which we'll talk about in a minute. Yeah, it's a big deal because they don't understand why it's happening. It's Renoir trying to erase the painting, trying to erase the canvas so that he can rescue his wife. He's doing it out of love. This is the kindest way of, rubbing away the canvas. Now, the number on the monolith, they say it's a warning that the Paintress or Aline is able to give. So with her strength weakening, there's a number counting down, warning the people of the canvas that another wave of Gamage is coming, another wave of Renoir erasing the extremities of this existence. And the people of the canvas, obviously, because they don't know that these two things aren't cause and effect, they're not linked in the same way. They think that the number is painted and then the Gamage comes and it is the number that causes the Gamage. Well, actually, the Gamage is causing Aline to paint a lower number. It's reversed. It's the other way up. So they've interpreted it as the wrong cause and effect. That's my reading of this. We also find out that Clair is leaving the family home, the Descendre family home, because there are urgent matters. There's a conflict outside the canvas between the painters and the writers, and she's been left in charge because both of her parents, who are on the Painters' Council, whatever that is, they're not being responsible because they're stuck inside the painting trying to deal with the mother's grief. Claire's quite arguably quite a bitter character because she's been left with this responsibility that she doesn't really want, and she's unhappy that her parents aren't doing it. And she won't let Alicia help with the conflict in the real world because the writers used Alicia against them once before, which is what I'm assuming the fire is from. You know, they were trying to burn the manor down. Maybe they somehow got in thanks to something that Alicia did or said. So Claire clearly blames Alicia and won't let her help in the real world, but she will let Alicia into the canvas to help their father speed up the process of forcing Aline out of the canvas, so that they can both return to the real world. They can take part in the conflict that is going on in the real world. Alicia makes sure that they hide the canvas before they enter, because they know that Aline will keep on trying to find it. And Alicia thinks that is enough, that hiding the canvas is all it will take, and as soon as she can get both of her parents out, everything will be fine. And there's this idea that the Dissandra family can only move forwards with their lives if the canvas is destroyed, which is not something that Alicia really wants to do because it's the last part of her brother. It's got the last little bit of his soul in the canvas. But otherwise, grief will keep cycling. That canvas will keep on drawing people back in, whether it's Renoir or Aline or whomever. The problem is that as Alicia enters, she is caught in a swirl of Aline's chroma, and rather than remembering everything, she is instead reborn, painted over, inside the canvas as a baby, who is then very quickly orphaned by the next wave of Demajen at the time, and she lives 15, 16 years, something like that, and not knowing who she is, what she is, and becomes attached to the people, the creations within the canvas, because she doesn't know, she doesn't remember anything about her real life. But of course she does find out when she joins Expedition 33 the events that go unfold, and of course the painted Renoir, the white-haired man, recognises her as, you know, his daughter before the fire and the scarring and the loss of an eye and voice and so on and so forth. And that's why in Act 1 he says that, you know, she'll ruin everything if she interferes. I think that is right in terms of my understanding. So, inside the canvas, these are our dramatis personae. We've got the white-haired man, Renoir, painted into life by Aline and made immortal. We've got Verso, painted into life by Aline, made immortal. The masked girl, Alicia, painted into life by Aline, made immortal. And we've got the curator, which is and is described as a rather unflattering portrait of the real Renoir, who's gone in after Aline to try and get her out. So he's been twisted, changed, configured by being painted over, by having his chroma messed with. We've also got the Nevrons, and the many different types of Nevrons, created by Clair to make sure that chroma doesn't get back to the parents. We've got Esquier, the Gestrels, Grandis, Monoko, Noko, or all of the characters that were created as part of Verso's canvas. You know, Verso painted these into existence before he died. And I'm assuming that the human inhabitants of his canvas they live their lives like it's a real world. They're born, they die, but they have the Demajen to deal with as well after the fracture. And then, of course, we've got Ciel and Lune, who've just been recreated by Maelle, now that she knows who she is, what she is, and so on and so forth. So, if the expedition follows through on its job to take down the Paintress, the creations of the Paintress would disappear because the real Renoir would be free to erase the canvas by way of the Demajen. So if they can stop the Paintress, if they can weaken her and force her out of the painting, force Aline out of the painting, she won't have the control, she won't have the power inside the painting, and that would enable Renoir to erase the canvas with this gentle rubbing out. And that would hopefully pull Aline out of her grief. If she doesn't have that resort, that constant, oh, I can go back there and I can feel my son's soul again, that would help. Now, Maelle believes that simply hiding the canvas will be enough, and that Renoir will help her repaint everything as it was after Aline is expelled, because with Aline out, that's what Renoir wants, but she is wrong. Whilst he has been weakened by his prolonged battle, he still believes that erasing the canvas is the right thing to do to save both his wife and now his daughter, because she has spent all that time inside, and she's now got grief of her own. And so there's going to be a battle. The objective in the game right now is father and daughter have to fight. You know, Maelle is forming the greatest expedition, and they're going back to Lumiere when I'm ready to go back and do the final conflict. The risk is that this will cause a second fracture, and this time, as Verso says, you know, painted Verso, it could be Maelle that's trapped within the monolith, going through the exact same things that her mother did, but for a different set of griefs. Now, the painted Verso warns Maelle that the entire world inside the canvas is simply perpetuating the family's grief. And that because Maelle's been stuck inside for 16 years and she's made all these connections, that she too will perpetuate that cycle of grief, not just for her brother in the real world, but now everybody that she has lost over 16 years to the Demajen, including Gustave. Arguably, she has got more grief than her mother did, because she's lost so many people, regardless of the fact that they're not real. They were real enough to her, and she's lived this life. This obviously includes Gustave, Emma, everybody that she's got to know in the world of the game. So we've got a real problem here with what Maelle is going to do. As an aside, because I started creating this slide and I don't actually really know where to put it. It's a bit about the axons. So we find out that these are created by Renoir, but we don't really know why. Are they weapons? Yeah, we know that the curator needs their power, and the curator is Renoir. Is it a way of getting to Aline? Is it a backup plan? I'm not sure. And they're described by Noko in the kind of camp scene as she who plays with wonders and he who guards truth with lies. So she who plays with wonders, I'm assuming, is the essence of Aline. You know, she's a paintress. She plays with the wonders of art. And Verso is he who guards truth with lies, which is what he's been doing throughout the game. He's been lying about things, covering them up. He doesn't explain stuff to Maelle. And I'm assuming that I've got those the right way around in terms of Surien and Facade. But we also know that there's a third axon, because Verso talks about it, and we don't know who that third axon is. Or I don't know who that third axon is yet. So I've got to go and find out about that. And I'm going to go and, you know, the next part of the playthrough is basically going to be me just going out into the world and finding all of the stuff before we go and get back to it. Get back to Lumiere. So, Aline has been expelled from the canvas. So, right at the end of the fight with the Paintress, yeah, we have two phases of doing damage. And then right at the end, she heals. She doesn't attack. She's all about healing before we finally defeat her. And that's clearly, well, not clearly, but that could be an indication that she is trying to to protect what is going on, or that she's losing her strength to fight, or something along those lines. And after she's expelled from the canvas, the curator is finally able to paint back himself into the real Renoir. But he's resolute that the canvas must be erased. Maelle tries to convince him that this is her home now, because she's got so little in her burned, voiceless state outside the canvas. That's I can understand the point of view. Even though she can now remember it, she also remembers 16 years worth of life inside the canvas. Renoir warns her that she'll die if she stays in the canvas, in much like the state that they've just kind of rescued Aline from. And so he creates greater creatures to erase the painting, including the nearby verso. But Maelle stops the erasure. She rescues Ciel and Lune's chroma, and they flee on Esquire while Renoir is weakened from his act of creation and busy from making those creatures. So, the crux, I believe, of Act 3 kind of goes one of two ways. I am predicting that Act 3 will be Maelle and the kind of expeditioners that she's just created, as well as Ciel and Lune. Yeah, that she's just created from the kind of chroma that she's rescued from the expeditioners. And Maelle's going to have to make a decision. Either she will have enough chroma from taking control of the canvas from defeating her father, and she will stay inside the canvas with everybody resurrected. Gustave, Pierre, everybody. Emma, the apprentices and so on and so forth. She will resurrect them all, and for a time she will be happy. But she will eventually be in the canvas too long. She will start losing her sense of self, her sanity, or whatever. And perhaps her parents will continue trying to get back in to pull her out, if they even can, because she's hid the painting. You know, I don't think Claire is going to tell her parents where it's been hidden. Probably not, because she wants them to hold up their responsibilities in the real world. So maybe she would be left in peace inside the painting, because Claire doesn't really have a high opinion of her little sister, by the sound of it. So that's one ending possibility, I guess. You know, there'd be this happy scene where everybody in the canvas would live happy, but it would then cut to Maelle somewhere, her eyes bleeding chroma or something, and it would probably end on that kind of shocking conclusion that actually her inability to let go of her grief for Gustave and the characters in this canvas has created the same problem for her. The cycle of grief continues. The other option is that she realises that verso, the created verso, the painted verso, is right, and that the canvas must be erased to prevent the continuance of this cycle of grief, this conflict. And both of these endings are going to be heartbreaking, by the way, because that's clearly the way the game has been set up. You know, there's no route to a happy ending here. She either stays inside the canvas and consigns herself to a horrible existence, or she consigns the inhabitants of the canvas to erasure. You know, she literally wipes the canvas. She nukes the site from orbit. She destroys their entire world. Now, I imagine, with the understanding that people like Lune and Ciel would try and convince her that actually, yes, that's probably the right thing to do in some way. But they also might not. You know, they might want to live on with ending A. You know, they get to live on with all their friends and family back. So yeah, she'll consign the people of the canvas to her memories, essentially, and that'll bring some peace and healing and closure to the Desandres, where they don't have the option of returning to that world that is part of their son's soul. And it would allow them to come back together as a family and grieve and face the conflict in the real world together. And both of these endings are tragic. You know, neither of these endings are good endings. You know, you might say that, oh, the one where Maelle goes insane is the bad ending, and the one where peace and healing, that is the good ending or the true ending or something like that. But this reminds me quite a lot of the ending to Life is Strange, actually, where the choices that you had to make about who to give up were quite poignant, and I think this is very much going to be the case here. Maelle is going to have to give up something. It's either going to be her sanity and her real family for the first option, or it's going to be the family, the world that she grew up in this second time. And if it makes me choose, and I'm assuming it will make me choose, I don't think there's anything so far that's basically pushed me down one path or the other. You know, I think everything so far is exactly as it's the only path. But I think it's going to make me try and choose at the end, which of these paths do I want to have as my ending? And I don't know. I mean, I might have to make a save backup. Maybe there'll be a way of watching both in one save file. Maybe I'd have to New Game Plus it, or just watch somebody else do it on the old internet. But of these choices, I don't know which I'd choose. If you'd asked me towards the start of Act 2, before I really understood, as much as I do, what the stakes are, then yeah, I'd have totally said, get Gustav and everybody back. Because I didn't know that they are characters in a painting back then. But equally, do I want to commit Maelle to a life where I mean, realistically, the Verso is right ending, the painting must be erased ending, is the right ending. She can carry the memories of these lives that she lived, that she interacted with, even though they weren't real. She can carry them with her, and eventually, with the support of her family, she can have peace and healing. It wouldn't heal her face, it wouldn't heal her throat, and that's the harshness of it. But equally, staying in the painting and losing her mind, I don't know. Neither of these endings are good. I'm hoping that there are other choices, frankly, But this is what Verso has hinted at. This is what the epilogue and stuff has hinted at. So I think I'm going to have to choose one of these. Maelle is going to have to make some kind of choice. Don't know how long it's going to take me to get there, but that is my understanding of the story up until the start of Act 3. Let's continue with Act 3, shall we? We're going to start off this post me explaining or trying to explain what I think the hell is going on with the story section of the video by, first of all, turning my volume down because that's gone really loud for whatever reason. We're going to go back to... Right, where's Spring Meadows? That's not Spring Meadows. That is... Oh, I can check the map, can't I? Dark Shores. Spring Meadows is over here. There it is. So I want to, first of all, break the damage limits. Hold on. No, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Huh. So there's stuff we can break here. Couldn't break these before.
Great.
Aha. 25% increased break damage against slowed enemies. Could I have got to this section of the map before? I may have been able to. Oh no, I could not. This is okay. Oh, there's another one there. This guy has very specific places that he can land. He's got to have enough room. No, nothing there. Right.
Here I come.
Anyway, so what I want to do, in fact, we can do it just outside Spring Meadows. That's fine. I want to see, because Maelle's got the removed damage limit thing on. So I want to see how much damage she actually now does. And then we'll try and figure out, well, how far can we push this? So, generally speaking, Fencer's Flurry has hit for 9999.
Blade cut through the flames.
Highest damage, 81k. So in terms of, well, no, 108k. So in terms of how far back were we being held, about 800% at this point in time. So what I need to do is four fights, which don't need to be fully fledged XP fights. They can just be against basic grunts like these. And then I will be able to equip the breaks damage limit on everybody. I don't know how much it's going to cost.
Blade cut through the flames.
That's a flying enemy. They don't count. Woo! So that's given me some kind of indication as to how ridiculous the numbers could get. I imagine it could get much, much sillier. with the right pictos equipped and the right amount of lumina and so on and so forth. I haven't done any of that yet. Yeah, 81k. Second chance. That was the res, which will be quite useful. Those are enemies there, aren't they? No. At some point I'm going to use the right buttons. Collision. There we go.
Blade cut through the flames.
Painted power has been learnt. Okay. So, how much does it cost? Only 5. Sweet. Okay, everybody can have that. In fact, I probably should have turned that into a favourites. Thing is, I don't think too many of them are going to have that kind of... she doesn't need it because she's got it equipped. Right, what kind of stats is it offering you, Maelle? Just a big chunk of health at the moment. I think we'll keep it though. Second chance. Yeah, we'll have that. You can keep that. Right, did I... My brain... No, I kept that on. Right, so we have got a load of stuff
Taking to the sky.
that we can now go and look at, including the Dark Gestural Arena. This was an island that I could get to before. Now, where was... Oh, I could possibly beat this thing now. Right, now, we couldn't get to here before.
An advantage.
Nice. I can actually pick stuff up while flying. I appreciate that. I don't need to land. Right, what is this place? Endless Tower. Oh, yes. This place. I'm assuming there's a cap for how high we can fly. Yes. So that's the top of the world. This tower, though, goes up further, which intrigues me. So that's something else that we can check. We've got this bright red place here. Crimson Forest. Let's take a quick look inside the Crimson Forest. Why not? Okay, it is an actual zone. It's in a bit of a state. Again, use of colour and art direction. Wonderful. The red on white. Expedition 79 made it up here, apparently. I don't know what they were doing. Oop. I'm assuming there'll be some Enemies?
Perfect.
I like how a lot of these areas are just... they're here. It doesn't tell us... Oh, that's where it came from. It doesn't tell us what they're for. They're just places. It's not like, oh, this is part of the main story, you need to go here. It's like, no, here is a thing that you can go and explore if you want to. There'll be some bits. Is there really any need to do the flip? Uh-huh.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've got no plan. There's no plan here. There's no plan at work. There's no... I'm after these things, because I haven't looked anything up. I don't know what's around. It's just a case of what takes and catches my eye.
Useful.
Okay, so they're leaning into the jumping. Naturally, they're doing it in the place where there's massive falls to the death below. Because why would they not? It's oddly serene? It's oddly serene here. Ooh, 3 paths.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely. I'm assuming there will be journals and stuff. Hidden around.
What have we here?
Okay, that looks like it could be the main. Oh, no, there's an enemy over there. Again, don't know what level I need to be for any of this. Are you an enemy? Oh, no, you're not. Oh. Oh. Okay. Proper fights then.
Finesse and grace.
Okay, they've got a chunk of health, but not enough to get one-shots, so that's good.
Here we go.
These guys aren't hitting anywhere near the damage
A
limits.
storm is coming.
Ready to parry.
Oh, fire attack. Alright, that's one. Frozen attack. And that just murders everyone.
This will hurt.
Okay, this is problematic, isn't it? Frankly.
Blade, cut through the flames. Okay. This will hurt.
Yeah, so Maelle will absolutely annihilate. But everybody else is really going to struggle. And it's not like they're a lot lower level than she is. I guess I've just got better scaling on her stuff. You want me to jump across these little ledges? You do? Great.
What have we here?
Huh. Yeah, I'm not actually sure what it is that I've done to Maelle that has made her so much more powerful. See, that's just base attack, which I'm not using. That doesn't even need to be on. See, a lot of this is when she's fighting alone. I suppose roulette. I guess it could be a roulette that is giving me that. But that's only 200% damage. I don't know, maybe it's worth it. This could be a terrible... ow, jeez, flashbanged. Oh, there's only one of you.
Let's carve a path. Here we go.
Much lighter in the damage there. This is so bright, I can't see. My controller is rumbling. Ah, because of that. Wait, this is the... Yeah, this is the start of the area. What? So, is this area much smaller than I realised? Or... have I just got myself turned around as is how I roll? Okay. We actually needed to fall down here. Oh. We have completely changed chroma of the area. Hi guys. Also, I've got Versa on rather than
Finesse and grace.
Monoko, which I've only just really realised. Ooh, that's not actually a lot of damage, is it? Oh, good.
Stuff. Watch out.
And again.
Get ready.
Oh, enrage. I need enrage. I need some way of attacking twice.
Watch out.
Ready to go. I'm ready. Blade cut through the flames.
No damage. Yes, this area is playing with colour in an interesting way. Please be one on your own. Yes.
Finesse and grace. Finesse and precision.
You're outmatched. Here we go.
Feel the burn.
Yeah, I'm... Oh, shit.
finesse and precision.
Chroma is flowing. Lightning dance.
Ready to strike. This will hurt.
Yeah, I guess I need to find some way of really kind of multiplying my damage. I've been this way, haven't I? No? Ba-dum, ba-dum.
Careful now.
Brace yourselves.
Damn it.
Not giving up. This will hurt.
Not a lot, though.
Storm is coming.
I feel like I need my weapons much more powerful, frankly.
Let's carve a path. Radiance awaits.
Shit.
Ready to parry.
Okay.
The dance begins.
Good job she got her,
Now's our chance.
good job she got her health back. Now, see, this is just the place we were at before. Isn't it? Oh, fuck.
Well, that will help.
Yoink. No grabbies there then. No. No. How am I supposed to land on that if he insists on rolling? Oh, I don't want to run, thank you. This place looks like fun. Okay, we're missing a third statue. Yeah. Well, we've got some guys over here. And in fact, there's the third statue. Do. Do.
Radiance.
That's not finishing him off, is it? At some point, I will get that third hit. Maybe this time.
Didn't really need it.
Lule, watch out! Blades sharpened. Blades cut through the flames.
Overflowing with energy.
Overflowing with energy. I'm not sure Roulette is doing what I need it to do, frankly.
That's better.
That works. Oh. Oh, hold on, this is... Examine? Yes. So, oh. Maybe not yes. Chromatic Gold Chevalier. Okay, they do burn, so that's a thing. Everybody's dead, Jim. Nope. Okay. Chromatic Nevrons are much tougher. Alright, let's try this again. Right. That just kills everybody. So either I am massively underleveled, or I'm just massively under-equipped. Either way, I don't feel prepared. The issue is going to be, well, how do I figure out what I am and am not prepared for?
Son, here I come.
It's like, am I prepared for this thing yet? Oh, I don't even need to get close to that thing. Sprung! I don't know why I've just cast the AoE one on.
Anja!
I see that.
Why, yes, I'd love a dance.
Ready to go!
Oh. Yeah, no, I just feel massively undergeared now. But up until this point, we've had a nice kind of progression of you go here and then you go here and then you go here, and now it's just like you're just gonna have to figure out for yourself what you can and can't do. And that could be a little less fun. I guess it's just a case of finding places. Floating cemetery. Nice. Oh no, this is an actual zone as well. This is a trash can. Friend. Friend? Hello? Chalier. Oh, that was his back. Tell me, which weapon should I wield? The sword. It is settled. Find me inside the building. I will be waiting. Oh. Don't know whether that was a good choice then. Well, that didn't break any of those, did it? I'm guessing there'll be a fight if I drop down there.
Oh, wow.
There's a thing down there. How do I get to you? Like that.
What have we here?
An advantage.
The recoat. I might need to use that if I'm struggling with the old damage and stuff. I think it might just be this enemy here to defeat. Yeah. Could be a lot. Okay. We could try him. But I think I might need to spend some time on a build. Let's see how badly he's going to one-shot us.
Finesse and precision.
Okay, that's a chunk of damage. That's seems more like roughly where we should be. That doesn't. That does.
Harriet!
Okay, this is more like where we should be, I think.
Blade, cut through the flames.
Yeah.
A storm is coming.
Nice. Longest shell upgrade, 54k XP. That's nothing at this level. That was to be expected, and yet... Why make me choose your weapon? Each amongst my kind has chosen a weapon from amongst those three. Yet I feel no particular attraction to any of them. I feel only duty. You wish to fight so badly? My kind knows only battle. We are born into a world of strife, yet I seem to be the only one who does not revel in it. Is this a test? Yes, a test. In which I was the subject. When our battle began, something stirred within me. Something fleeting. I almost recognised it. Is that what my brethren feel? No. Maybe. I've pondered this again and again. How do the others fight so effortlessly, with such abandon? And why am I unable to do the same? Though I fight alongside them, I am an imposter. This has continued for long enough. I wish to end my life while I am still the one controlling it. Expeditioner, kill me. Are you sure? Why not find a new purpose? Ending this existence is my new purpose. It's the only fight I truly hunger for. Huh. Was that The kind choice, as Blanche puts it. Hi, SKA. He's just floating there outside. Okay, that was much more on level. Now, there's still the matter of these.
No.
SKA can't go underwater yet.
Son, here I come.
Now, if we are in that before the final boss section of this, why do we not have the ability to swim? I'm intrigued. Oh, these guys are big. Are they tough though? Yes. Yes, they are. So chances are these guys will one-shot me. Yeah, see, that was barely anything. Yeah. Okay, so everything is now just one-shotting me. And the thing is, there's no defensive equipment. It's all defensive stats. So I guess I need to figure out how I want to respec my stats to actually enable me to survive. Otherwise, I'm just kind of flying around and hoping to find something that will be content that's appropriate for me. The Reacher.
We shouldn't go there.
Okay. Ooh, short white hair for Maelle. So I don't need to use the clipping hair. Nice. So we're gonna be able to get... Ooh, new gestural.
Oh, magnifique. Ah, molto più e
Whee! Okay.
Good stuff.
25% increased break damage on critical hits.
Son, here I come.
Ah, this place. We can finally get here. Talk to this guy. Linen and cotton record. Simple outfit for Verso.
Getting bad. Flashing through the sky.
Dashing through the sky.
Here we go.
Oh, now, where was that place that I found? Oh, what was it called? Was it the white tree?
Here we go.
I found a place with a bowl. And it asked me if I wanted to put some money in. Ah, there we go. Right, what do you do, Fountain? Must mines created by man be considered false? Many have pondered this question. Most have understood its complexity. But alas, not all. Long had they thought the answer obvious, but the more they pondered, the more it consumed them whole.
What is this? A cryptic story dispenser?
Oops.
Actually, I found it quite interesting. Could we try it again?
Right, let's try it again. So it wants 10,000 this time. Grief is not a burden that needs to be carried alone. Still, it has broken the minds of many, with profound consequences. That's somewhat poignant to the narrative, isn't it? Sure. Such a beautiful painting, tainted by suffering. Would that they could go back to those days. Is this is all hints that the world that we are in is canvas. So we could have got these much earlier. In the face of countless trials, families reunite and they overcome. $50,000, okay. All this chroma has been rather energizing. Oh! Thanks to you, I awakened from my slumber. Did my tales interest you this much? I'm afraid I have no more to share, but you can have this.
Great.
Ooh!
What now?
Recovers 10% health on turn starts. That's quite nice. I take it you want more of my rambling. Why were you hiding here? I am different. My presence on this continent was deemed an offence by those who've already claimed these territories. I had to give up my travels, and then found this resting place. You know the rest. Reflection and meditation have brought me to an answer. I shall live on and have my own tale about my own trials and tribulations. Okay. I mean, 10% health on turn start is a not insignificant chunk. So that'll be quite nice. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm.
Son, here I come.
Okay, so the other things that I kind of want to check.
Hang on tight.
Oh, the shiny thing's over here. Sure. A flying casino. I'm assuming run by Gestrels would be my guess. Hello. Oh no, you're not.
Is that a casino?
Apparently, Maelle. Apparently. But what, humans up here? What? What is this place? This? Why, this is the whole world. I ended up here after the fracture and couldn't get back down, so it's my whole world. Do you want help getting back down?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. Who'd watch over things if I left? Nah. See, this place is a living piece of history. Used to be the place to be, you know? Play some games, drink some drinks, gamble a bit, all the fun stuff. Now it's like, well, you know. Anyway, just don't talk to that dimwit over there. Such a downer. Stuck in the past. Talk to him and he'll drown you in nostalgia. Who? What? Where? You? No. Person at the cathedral? No. Casino. Yes. But first...
Nice.
Reveries dans Paris. A music record that can be used at camp. I'm assuming that will talk to us. Hello? Could you peasants please cease that infernal shouting? Oh, hello. No interest in conversing with humans, so... To what did I owe the pleasure of your company? What are you doing hiding in there? I am a lone intellectual, cast aside by my people whose constant obsession with conflict drove me away. We are fellows, then. So it appears. Isn't this the old Gestrel Casino? Indeed it is. I maintain this place even after its fall, so its history is never forgotten. Before the fracture, I ran this establishment. The joy of seeing people revel in their fortunes, and the despair when they lost it all. Why is this music so much louder? I miss those times. I feel you. Times were simpler back then. They sure were. My friend, your clothing is a disaster. You should wear something befitting your stature. Try these on. Now you look like a true gentleman from simpler times. Thank you, you most cultured swine. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Whee! Okay. That could be all there is here, but that's all the time I'm going to spend here for now. Let us depart. I want to know more about the space, not whale, the space worm thing. This. Because I'm assuming this is an axon. I'm assuming this is the axon that we couldn't get to. That we were warned about. Couldn't get to this before, could we?
Hang on tight.
White Sands. Sure, we'll take a look.
Accord silencieux de nos âmes, lèvres fantômes, et râles pâles.
It's that manor from old
Lumière s'éteint.
Lumière.
Oh!
So that's where it went.
No. Something's different.
Oh?
Au loin, elle s'élève,
Interesting.
seule,
Aline.
sans détour. Songe, sans retour. Lumière, s'éteint.
This
Les
is
pétales d'iris
everything
s'envahissent
here,
la
I
rue du
think.
jour déclinant, muet complice du clair-obscur vacillant, nuance de chagrin. Il
Alas,
danse autour des heures
I
littorales,
do not speak French
éclipse,
anywhere near well enough to form simple sentences, let alone understand the lyrics to this song.
Vapeur de nos chairs, respiration amère, lumière s'éteint. Contre-temps volontaire, contre-champ solitaire,
Lovely.
lumière s'éteint. Si le temps se perd à contre-courant, les miroirs sans teint dévoilent leur nature.
Ah. It seems to be some kind of lament, anyway, for Eileen. I would take a stab in the dark, but no basis in fact whatsoever. But I'd take a stab in the dark that it's probably something to do. Oh, you can even see there. Yeah. I'd take a stab in the dark that is something to do with Eileen's regrets about old Lumiere. Right, I could get to this beach before, and I could see that dude. In fact, I think I might have nabbed anything that was behind him. But what I couldn't do is get to here. Sky Island. So called, probably, for it is an island in the sky. That would be my guess. And I am never wrong about this. Place your bets. Gonna murder me horribly, or... will it actually be vaguely in range? Level range, I mean. That's not the latch button. Oh.
Well, that will help.
15% to slow speed reduction. Okay. Right, how badly are you going to massacre me? Oh, it's a chromatic one, so... that's no health whatsoever.
Brace yourselves.
Let's dance.
Your turn to shine.
Well, that was a good start.
I won't disappoint.
To be fair, it was because I hadn't actually realised what was going on.
I am refreshed.
Flames. On me.
I'm ready.
Let's dance.
I'm ready.
Let's spill some ink.
Let's spill some ink.
A storm is coming.
Sweet taste of battle.
Ready to evade.
That covered the screen just a little bit too much. Extreme physical damage, 5 hits. Oh my god. Okay. I'll take that.
Parry it! Parry it!
Luna did not parry it.
Time to bleed.
Let the ink flow.
She's fine.
Let
That
us
just absorbed it because it's green and it... You're stupid, Demajen. Frankly. Oh, we've got all of the...
meet your reckoning.
$58k. Not as...
Flames. On me.
Danger! Danger!
On me.
Nice.
Choose.
Let's regen again, just in case.
Okay.
Don't actually know what the dark stain does. I should probably look that up. It probably tells me somewhere.
Danger!
That's so much screen effect. 405,000 XP. Oh, okay then. Thing is, that's not even a level. At this level. Bernaro. But hey, we've got a foot for it. And a level 20 weapon for Minoko. To be fair, that's not particularly great, but... Oh, my eyes. But it's something. Okay, I assume that's everything here. I was kind of expecting this to be a staging point for facing off against this space worm, but I guess not. In that case, we probably just have to fly into it.
Hmm?
Yeah. Okay. Where are we actually going to fight it? On Eskio's back? Serpent Fair. Yep. Oh. That's cheating.
Let's dance.
Gains shields and increases its speed.
Take cover!
En garde! Take down their shields.
That's just cheating.
Let's dance.
Yeah, okay. So this is very much an endgame boss. No point sending in the reserve team. Well, at least I know I was correct with that. Again, could I spend time trying to perfect parry it every single time? Yes, absolutely. Am I going to? Hell no. We shall come back as and when we have got better weapons and stuff.
Take the sky.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.